Welcome back. We are crisscrossing the country getting an update with regards to the social grants payments. Day 2 of the social grant payments is currently underway in the country. We now cross to our reporter Hasina Gori, who's live for us from Alexandra, north of Johannesburg. Hey Hasina, very good morning to you once again. Tell us what's happening where you are.
Good morning. Yes, it's day 2 of the social grant payments, specifically and only for the elder and people with disabilities. This morning, unlike what we saw yesterday in Johannesburg, either in Soweto as well as in Alex here, the numbers are far less, with specifically those coming out for their grants, where we saw maybe hundreds coming out there, tens that are here. There's a lot more order, I feel, today than what we saw yesterday, especially from those that are coming out to get their grants. Where the problem does still lie is with those that are coming out to buy their bare essentials. I'm going to ask video journalist Vanessa Langa to just pan for you to give you a sense of how social distancing is planned out here out at the Alexandra Plaza. There are trolleys that are placed and people are meant to stand between. They're also monitoring the amount of people allowed into this premises. So many are queued outside. And as you're going to see, they are lining in and being allowed into. But the line outside goes for a few kilometers before they're even allowed in here. The delays that we're seeing are due to people and businesses trying to social distance. So they're allowing only a certain number of people into, firstly, the parking lot area or into the malls, and then also then into the business itself to shop. Today we did see a police presence. I'm not sure if you noticed the army that have been patrolling here, as well as police officers, just ensuring that there are laws that are being abided to by people. We spoke with a pensioner earlier and we asked how long would it take on an average month for her to get her payouts, and she said at most 10 minutes, and usually at one of the larger grocery stores. She decided to come out today because of the lines and the queues yesterday being completely unbearable, and today she spent about half an hour or so getting her payout and then going on to buy that bare essentials. A lot of people here also a little anxious this morning after that news that 5 people in Alexandra are in self-isolation after coming in contact with someone who has contracted the coronavirus. That person did deny medical advice to stay in self-isolation here in Alexandra and went to Limpopo. He's now been arrested and is in quarantine in a facility. So there's a sense of kind of anxiousness here as well. People are saying that people aren't adhering to staying indoors, that you see children outside, that people are still milling around unnecessary. So this is just the sense and the mood we're getting here in Alexandra this morning.
Yes, since the Department of Health in Gauteng confirmed this first case of COVID-19 in Alex, and a number of people, we are told, have been quarantined. So has this changed from the sense you're getting on the ground, from the sentiment you're getting? Has it changed people's approach or behavior even? Towards this COVID-19. We know that President Cyril Ramaphosa says many people in this country are not taking it seriously. Has that changed in any way since the announcement of the first case in Alexandra?
We've been here in Alexandra from at least 6 a.m. this morning, and the queues, not just outside this specific mall, but Pan-Africa and other smaller general dealers here, have been extremely long. It's the same scenes we saw on Friday. So the attitude and the behavior has not changed, but I think we also have to put into the context that many saw that panic buying visuals. They saw those empty shelves, and they are using this chance now that they have been paid to come and get the essentials. It's going to take a few days before we see people really not having a reason to come out of their homes and actually staying at home. Even with the travel regulations being relaxed this week, you can still hear the cars, you can hear the hooters of the taxis and the private cabs that run in this area that are still ongoing. There have been calls for those that are still using public transport also to do that while social distancing. If you are using an e-hailing service, to make sure there's only one person in the vehicle along with the driver, and if you're in a taxi or a bus, it should be half its capacity. But we're still seeing people, piling themselves up into vehicles, standing quite close to each other, not much sanitizer in some places. So attitude is going to take still a bit of a while before it gets there.
Hasina, the WHO tells us that around 80% of people who contract COVID-19 will recover well. They will experience mild symptoms. Some are asymptomatic, we're told. It's that 20%, Hasina, that we really need to be concerned about, that will probably need some serious medical attention, hospitalization possibly. Now, we know that the risk groups, high-risk groups, are the elderly. This is, I guess, a perfect opportunity to educate or, explain what COVID-19 is all about when you have such a large number of people gathered in one space, collecting their social grants. Is that happening? Is there an education drive from officials in the areas you visited with regards to COVID-19?
Yes, as you mentioned, the most vulnerable group and the most high risk are the elderly. And yesterday, when we were at Jabulani Mall in Soweto, we did notice that police officers as well as the CPF were handing out pamphlets, just educating people on what exactly is COVID-19. How do you keep yourself safe? How do you ensure that you don't, infect yourself, but also infect others, symptoms, etc., in various different languages. People that we spoke to, many very aware and understanding what exactly the virus is, but they're saying that they don't have sanitizers, that they sometimes only sanitize in stores. Some are asking for government to roll out a kind of project to give out soap in these informal settlements and in other areas, just to ensure that sanitizing and that hygiene measures are kept. So people are understanding, and education, I feel, is there. People are aware, and those that aren't abiding are just not abiding by the law and just defying it, thinking others should do it.
All right, Hasina, we do appreciate your reporting. We'll try to catch up with you a little later on to get a sense of what's happening there in Alexandra. Hasina Gori live for us in Gauteng. Thank you very much indeed. All right, we're going to take a quick break. I'll get you more news next. Stay with us.